Hanabi's all-time stats and take a look back at what he's done on this champion before. Looking at it, I mean, he's had some decent success, but when did he last play it? It was back in the spring playoffs up against J-Team, and that was the Hull Breaker meta.
That seemed a long time ago. I have to say, Aatrox does not feel like, to me, a Hanabi champion at all, because this is a champion that needs to get things done in the mid game. He doesn't have much to look forward into the late game, so you definitely don't expect Hanabi to play this all that often. But I think in this game, it does make a bit of sense here. You know, he does have a better scaling versus the Renekton later on. Doesn't have too bad of a laning phase against him either. And in the meantime, just looking across the board right here, we do have Nesty coming in with the spell book. So not the all-in sort of Ari we want to see, but definitely the more common.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. You know, Nesty, a little bit more that type of player. He's not going to be looking to carry. This is a champion that's probably going to be moving around the map and helping out where and when they can, right? So strategy does seem to have some strong lanes, especially top side. That could still work, and a bit more of a coin flip now, but we'll have to find out. Bot side could get a lot of jungle attention. I think it's going to be all on Hana. Try and get going early on this Trundle and see if you can get it done. I mean, this isn't it isn't the tankiest composition as well. You can burst through if Bury isn't involved. And we finally, by the way, get to see Bury on a Sejuani. This is what I've been waiting for a while. Like, it feels like a no-brainer. It's a simple champion. It allows you to do so much. It's relevant at almost all stages of the game. Like, why have they not done this sooner?
Navi actually having a great trade against Leaky right here. And you know, going back to your question here, I totally agree with you. Like, Bury is a utility player, and I know for most of the split, his main role has been to keep targets away from the back line. But when you're rushing in a 1-3-1, I feel like Sejuani makes a lot more sense than the Uko. You don't mind if your carries take a bit of farm away from you. In the meantime, you also have Hana already sectioning up for a very strong top side for DCG. And I have to say, this is one of those matchups. If you get jungle pressure, Renekton can actually just dominate early and make sure the Aatrox just doesn't bro.
Yeah, that is a possibility. And he gets the early push on. But, you know, Bury maybe focusing his attention elsewhere. He's going to go through his first clear. Gets out the chicken camp. Always going to keep an eye on bot lane because it has gone a little unexpected. Chris Scott and Woody have been struggling a little bit up until that last game in lane phases. It started to turn in their favor, but that was when they had the Zeri Yumi. This is, of course, going to be a Sivir and Renata. Very pokey, but keep in mind, like, the possibility of popping off is huge there. Unified and Kaiwing have just been on another level in this playoffs. They've gotten themselves right back on form. No idea what was going on in the regular split, but it's not happening any longer.
Ooh. We do have Bury moving up to his top side, realizing everything is gone, which means basically only has one place else to go, which is...
Got a level advantage on Hana, too. He's going to go for Scuttle Crab, so we'll just get a trade of those right now. But there's still plenty of opportunities to get the gank in. I mean, look at how far forward Leaky's staying right now.
Yeah, not a very comfortable position for him.
And he doesn't have any eyes on this. He's going to go down and get a ward, but the wraparound's already here.
It.
Oh, Bury. Oh, no. Oh, man. If he goes this way, it's going to get spotted, but Hanabi is going for the cutoff. Leaky has to know something's up here. And he's just trying to funnel him in. There's the slice, the dice. And he sniffs it out. Oh, if Bury had gone the long way, it would have worked.
Yeah, that actually is great stuff coming in from Leaky. You know, just detecting that the wrap was coming around. So he drops the ward. And those situations are kind of hard to guess. You're not sure if when the ward actually went down or not. So I think that maybe Bury thought it might have gone down a little earlier than that. And Leaky able to walk away from that one. Even gets a good trade onto the Navi.
Yeah, this is nice. I do like to see a bit of a fighting matchup, right? Like, especially when it's been kind of like a bully fest up until this point. Hanabi gonna, you know, get back to it, and at least he's been able to keep pace and farm for the time being, and it was Bury going up there top first, not able to find success, but now Hana gonna look to do the same thing in the mid, looking for Gory. Still level 5, no hijack just yet. Oh, but he's got plenty of sticking power still. ST has to turn him back around. Gory should definitely have the better of this matchup.
I was definitely looking for an opportunity to just gank Gory. I feel like that's the way you want to use this 2v2, and in comes Hana again. They're just waiting for the TP. Oh, the TP's not even going to come through. Nesty just going to go forward. Gory has to sniff this.
Frozen Domain. Gory is able to walk to the safe side of the map. I mean, yeah, I think Gory's not going to fall for this too much. Should be able to play it out pretty well. Top lane, on the other hand, though, Hanabi does get a little bit bullied. Man, if level 6 stings, that could make all the difference. But a good turn. Hanabi's able to even up that health, as he is still forced to back away. Teleport will be coming through in a moment. I think he's going to let this one crash. Oh, Hanabi's backed. Stopped his back, rather.
Actually, a pretty decent wave position for him. Doesn't mind this too much. Yeah, he can stay around. There's not much League he can do. He's not going to go into tower range.
Here comes Hana as well, but he might be a little late to the party. And he's on a ward as well. Yeah, he just starts backing in full Viz. There's the back, the TP for Hanabi. Leaky does have 6, but should be setting up the dive. And we have a much quieter game than we have this entire series. It feels like everybody got at their aggression last time, and then that last game kind of slowed the pace a bit, Clement. Maybe we're just cruising to a finish.
I would say that a slow start like this, definitely in favor of PSG. They have kind of the scaling 1-3-1 waiting for them in the back. And I think they just have the better deal when it comes to champions like the Aatrox and the Sylas especially. So if the early game is completely quiet and DCG isn't able to make use of Ahri Trundle, that's a big win for PSG.
Just gotta keep it locked up. And, you know, a lot of that's gonna be on Hanabi not getting soloed, sniffing out any jungle pressure. They both have 6 at this point, so you know they can't take that fight. Bury is back in mid lane. And he doesn't have his ultimate either, but he's making Nesty, you know, guess twice in this one. Gory's been able to at least get some decent trades, but it's pretty much dead even on the farm game. The big advantage right now, it seems, is in that bottom, but even that's not that much. Unified also, you know, gone for the more trading-oriented start rather than the Cole that we saw in Friscado's hands last time. He's also matched on Doran's Blades. And I think, yeah, this chill start's going to certainly favor PSG. Like, sure, Hanabi's losing out on the farm, but not the worst thing that could happen.
Really isn't even that much, and I think Gory getting through laning phase completely unmolested is always bad news. We have seen what Gory can do in these team fights. He just goes for the backline so consistently, and like you said, he does have the potential to just keep everyone there, and you also have a Rakan to follow up that engage. So the flanking potential from PSG is just going to be absolutely massive. And we have seen in this meta, it's very difficult to prevent flanks because the objectives take so long to actually clear out. And that's what I'm waiting to see. PSG has always been masters of this, just finding the different angles to collapse on.
They were looking for it again right there. Herald is actually just about to spawn, and it was Deep Cross that were kind of making moves up, but inside PSG vision. And now Bury and Kaiwing start to roam up, looking for a potential play on Deliki, who sees this coming in Tri-Brush, but they're still here. Hana is as well, and I think this is just buying Hanabi a little bit of space to push forward, and now they're going to drag him down to opt into not even a Herald play. Okay, just taking it easy.
I don't think either side is particularly confident of starting the Herald. If I'm PSG, I feel like I would want to play with DCG actually starting on the Herald. Like, I just have so much more upside getting Sylas into the backline directly than compared to starting it myself. So I think PSG are pretty happy to just wait here, put a little bit of pressure, get some vision here, but they want DCG to be on the objective first.
DCG don't want to be either. So we just see the two teams looking at each other menacingly. Ooh, Pillar! Oh, the Ice Bullet goes wide. Now they're going to start the fight. Nesty looking for Unified on the back. This man's letting Charm in to that cleanse, but he's out of there. All the same, Kaiwing picks up first blood. They get Hana out. Gory falls on the opposite side. It's a trade, 1-for-1, and Deep Cross are the ones on the chase with the numbers advantage. Unified desperately trying to get back to the team. Another Charm lands, a double kill. Friscado's on the board.
There's the big hostile takeover onto 2, and DCG with a firm win here. They're going to get some plates and a Herald afterwards.
Ooh, okay, the plate doesn't quite fall, but all the same, tempo advantage huge for Deep Cross. Friscado gets himself 2 kills in this one, and man, it has been all about these bottom laners getting the early advantages. Now the Herald is going to go, and at Deep Cross, it looks like they were just ready to pull the trigger a little faster. PSG, they were the ones who opened hostilities, but they lost out at the end.
A huge part of that fight was just Nesty's ability to find the charm onto Unified and force him out early. Because DCG were the ones to actually lose members first. They lost Hana onto the top side, but because Unified, couldn't really join afterwards, they were able to win this one. Also, PSG's start was a little bit fumbled. They didn't find the 2 initial engages. It took a very long time for them to actually find Hana. It meant that DCG was able to get back here rather early. And as we see this fight here, turn around the corner, they have to take the long route here. They get chased down, and that's another kill over to the side of Chris.
Yeah, man. Top lane, no longer an island, apparently. Everybody was coming to that party. More like a resort town, as PSG do have the timing window to start off on this first dragon, the Infernal. Should be going their way without a whole lot of options to contest. And let's take a look at where things stand with the dust settling. About 11 minutes on the game clock. The gold lead in favor of Deep Cross just a little bit, but we haven't seen that Herald put to use just yet. PSG with a pretty critically important dragon, though. Get themselves that extra 6% AD and AP could make all the difference in the later stages of the game. But we'll reset back to lanes after a little bit of fun.
I think Hana was spotted here, so PSG are just going to play this one safely. And I still have to mention, I feel like DCGs need a big team fight win somewhere to get them over.
That wasn't quite. That wasn't quite enough. That was good, but not quite enough. And now PSG on the chase. They get the stolen Spirit Rush. Hana gets chunked down. And so what you're talking about, Gory just going into the dive on the back lines, or just on anybody really, and opportunistically looking for a kill. Gory is a very different player when he has one of these power picks.
I'm so surprised that Burry just didn't go for it there. Hana had no flash, so that was actually quite an easy kill. But they're saving it for later. Let's see if they can find something. Burry definitely could have ulted Trundle there, but decided not to. But they do get the TP off, and we are going to come into a little bit of a reset. I feel like DCG are just going to wait for the next Drake to come up at this point. Yeah. They don't really have strong lanes to play through, and Trundle's not your typical great ganking jungle here, so it's going to take a while.
Yeah, this game could take a bit. Oh, Nesty just waiting right out in the mid. Oh, he was trying to bait out a play as well, but he doesn't send the charm. Instead, the Orb of Deception, where he still dodges it all the same. Both junglers involved in the mid lane, and the Eye of the Rift Herald is going to get popped by DCG. They've actually managed to chase away most of PSG Talon, so this should be a pretty good charge, but it's only the couple of plates as now PSG make moves in for that one in exchange. And well, the game just keeps swinging, just very, very close in this early one. Remember what these teams are playing for. It is a lower bracket finals appearance, not a Worlds appearance just yet. Gotta get through Mega Bank Beyond Gaming for that. But it's still all the same very important for both squads. Deep Cross, they're looking to overcome the spring split late postseason collapse that saw them go out at the hands, not of PSG, in fact, but that was the team that knocked them down to the lower bracket last time around. And PSG, they gotta recapture the throne. This is our team that has won so many of our PCS titles. Of the 5 splits that have already happened, going back to 2020, in the start of the PCS era, if you will. This is a team that has earned oh so many of them.
Yeah, this is absolutely
4 out of 5.
We have such a dominant team here. I almost just because
but they may not win this time. They're in the lower bracket. I mean, we've never seen this team fall this far down early, and I think it goes to show how competitive the league is getting these days. CFO were the team that did it in 5.
That's why they're now in the finals. Subconsciously always rooting for the J-Team universes just to spice things up for us.
There's so many of them, right?
Yeah, like one of them has to make.
Hard not to like. There's definitely a flavor of J-Team that's right for you out there somewhere. If you're looking for a team in the PCS to support. And Deep Cross are definitely an exciting one. But yeah, story time, we had a little bit of time to talk about it. I think no matter what happens here in this series, it'll be really great to see the next round. But at the same time, I think PSG, they've been challenged this split much more than any other. I mean, these two teams were the number 1 and number 2 seeds. They're in the lower bracket, for crying out loud. And they were only 1 win apart from each other in the regular season.
And, we are getting to that point where everything is going to come down, I feel like, to this big team fight here. The Hextech Drake is the most contested one, currently on 12.14. The stats it gives are just great. The attack speed works for everyone. We're seeing all the big mythics come up here. And we're just kind of waiting for Zeri to make her way back. Nesty does find that charm.
Ooh, yeah, but Gory finds those chains. He's not got the kill just yet, but he is constantly threatening. That's something you have to keep your eyes on when you watch Gory here. He just gets another slam down. 15 minutes on the game clock. Low kill game. Dead even in gold. The Dragon's still in favor of PSG. And 30 seconds until this Hex Tech is going to spawn up.
I don't think Ari can make it back. I think this is a little bit of a misplay here from Nesty. Like, Silas's moves were rather telegraphed, but Ari still stayed around for the punishment. At least Hana is going to secure the blue buff. Let's see if he can make it back just in time. Kind of dissuade this one.
They're looking for a play.
Yeah, Necton's even coming down.
Yeah, PSG,
we don't have the mythic from Unified. Yeah, he's backing out here, but I think they're backing a little bit late. This could be a straight pop for DCG.
Yep. I think PSG just kind of ceded this control away. I mean, I don't know. I feel like this game has definitely had like a very different pace than the others, Clement. I mean, you kind of slowed down at the end, and now it feels like everybody's stuck in second gear. It's like I'm listening to the opening theme of Friends.
And we have some interesting things developing across the map here. DCG actually trying to break open the map. This is not typically what you want to do when you're playing against 1-3-1. You'd actually rather keep the lanes short.
Hanabi's doing the same thing, but he's doing it solo. Now, he is a little slower, so first break goes DCG's way. That should help them in the gold game, but I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of just trade of objectives. It's like we're back in a lane swap meta or something like that.
Yeah, and PSG get a lot more mileage off of this one. They're going to get 2 towers for 1, essentially, because if they get the Herald, it's a guaranteed take on the mid lane. So I actually feel like if I'm PSG, I'm pretty happy with this trade overall. I avoid a major team fight against DCG that could give DCG their power spike in the early game, and I also win out on the objective trade. So I'm a little bit baffled by DCG's decision to then move down for the trade. Basically, PSG had a much more efficient trade across the map, and not be able to solo down 1 tower. They get almost the entirety of mid lane, and then also the Herald.
Yeah, that was honestly a little bit of a strange turn of events. As we start to see some big item buys coming through, Burry picks up the Frozen Fist, and yeah, you know, like Unified's got his World Shield Bow, but that back certainly cost, I think, a whole lot of pressure. And you got to keep in mind, Criscata, this 2-item Sivir accelerated in this game. It's something PSG will absolutely have to respect.
Yeah, like, even when he's down all that CS, I believe he's still very close in gold, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem for him. PSG at this point finally overtake the gold lead, and I just feel like DCG made the wrong decision in trading across the map the way that they did. Both lanes are open here, and that's great for these champions like the Sylas, like the Aatrox. They love to play in these lane situations. They could even freeze the lanes. I don't think DCG could do about it. And
yeah, I don't think so either.
It's just hard to see after that trade where DCG actually find the plays after this one. I feel like PSG can just play around the map and they can slow things down if they want to.
Yeah, and again, like, this is a team that has really loved, like, when things have gone methodically, and even burning through the spell shield. They do manage to get a charm into Criscata, but nonetheless, he still uses his flash to get out of harm's way. Burry's Bolo does not go where it needs to, and meanwhile, they're looking to try and set this one up. The hostile takeover lands and stop Burry for just a second. Maybe Deep Cross have an opportunity to get the kill in this one, but Burry's just not there. Leaky into the backline, getting the shutdown. That's big gold now. Nesty staying alive for a couple more seconds, but
he's still
does he have enough to get out? I can't believe it, he does. The double kill coming through for a Leaky, looking to set up more as Hanabi does get something back for his team, but it's just so little. It's just not enough. And yes, he's threatening like a wounded animal in a corner, but it doesn't matter. Leaky getting the unofficial triple kill, and Deep Cross winning huge on that fight.
Yeah, I think Unified pulled the trigger a little bit too early. He went across the wall for that one, and now Hana trying to find some punish. Not gonna get
Gory.
it there.
Yeah, doesn't quite find a way to close the gap. Maybe he can bait Gory out, although that Subjugate on is going to make that a little bit harder. Nothing to take off the back of that fight critically, but Deep Cross certainly win it out, and Leaky gets massive gold.
That was the big fight that DCG wanted from their mid game. So let's watch this again. I feel like PSG overplayed their hands. They already burned 2 ultimates onto Sivir, and if you're Sivir, this is actually a worthwhile trade. Trade one flash away from 2 ultimates. It's going to give you a very strong lead into this fight. And look at this engage angle here. I think most critically, Unify goes over the wall and finds himself in a terrible position. Has to instantly flash out. Leaky says thank you very much. Closes up the ramp, and then Hanabi can't chase inside the tower. So I just feel like PSG just overplayed their hand following on the chase up here. And DCG win out huge. They're going to be able to execute the rundown in the silence after this one for sure.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they wanted to do, getting on the board. They already had the Sivir starting to pick up kills, but adding to that the Renekton as well, it becomes a massive threat. The Kempung Chainsword is completed now. 20 minutes, Leaky on the 2 items. You know, well, I'll talk about that in a minute, because that is going to be the turn, but a counter turn from PSG. They look to go for even more here as they take Woody out of this. And Gory comes in fresh as you like to try and keep this cleaned up, but Criscata says absolutely not today. PSG are still finding openings, still finding damage, but it seems like they've run out of kill threat. A 1-for-1 trade extended.
But PSG still have the much better condition onto this one, so they're going to be able to stay around here and force out even more HP bars. You see Unified going in. They're just making sure to pad a little bit more room as they turn towards that Drake.
Boy. So, before all of that happened, it was starting to look like DCG were quite out in the lead, able to make moves where they wanted to on the map. PSG, they just open up, they find an opportunity, they get the counterplay, and still finding these really scrappy plays, very chaotic, unlike a lot of what we'd seen the rest of this game. And now, inside track on the Mountain Dragon, but not super confident they can start it. Let's take a look at how this fight began. It was off the back of Nesty and Hana. They found a collapse, but Unify just tanks through it all, dodges the charm with ease, and his positioning is just so good in this series.
Yeah, if you look at that fight, a couple big things here is Kaiwing is able to stall out the initiation from DCG, and then Leaky has to spend time on the teleport to come in onto the fight afterwards. So PSG, they're able to blunt the attack and, you know, pull out of a fight where Criscata was 3-0-3. I think that's a massive achievement in and of itself to kind of walk away with that an even hand. But for DCG, they're still able to come back on the map a little bit stronger afterwards and take away the objective.
Continues to swing just a little bit. Gold game just about dead even, but that Dragon diff is going to make some. As they now look to catch Unified, he's able to get back into the safety of the tower. The counter turn's always a possibility, and the pillar denies Gory coming in. PSG just immediately have this ridiculous collapse capability, but Kaiwing does get caught, bursted, not enough. Hostile takeover lands, but it's dodged on the side by Hanabi. Man, this is like a boxing match in this mid lane. It's full A-ramp that is turned into. It's just abilities traded left and right, but nobody goes down.
Sorry, not the flash. A little bit overhyped onto that one. The Nesty does go in for an aggressive
flashes, what have you. Yeah, I mean, this is still just like so opportunistic. Both these teams getting antsy here. Again, this is it. Elimination for Deep Cross. Should they lose this one, PSG would still have a game banked up, but they don't want to go out anyways, have to play another. After that last loss did drag for a while for them. 23 minutes is the game clock here. Exactly even in the gold game.
Oh, things are getting really tense here. We're seeing DCG trying to push their carry advantage a little bit here. They are even in gold, but you do expect DCG to have a little bit more oomph just right now with the Renekton and the Sivir. So they're definitely going forward a lot of these times, trying to find these picks, but so far it just hasn't been enough. I really like that that Mercury Treads coming in from Kaiwing. That was absolutely massive, as he is able to survive through the charm, through the Everfrost, and still get out okay. I don't think he would have been able to do that without the boot choice here.
I agree. I think these little adaptations do make a large difference for them. So that has helped out time and again. Got to be able to dodge out some of those big threats, the damage dealers, the 3-0 Renekton and Sivir especially. And also Hana on this Trundle has been getting a lot of work done. Those pillars, they've been denying the counter engages, the returns, denying Gory an ability to come in. Like, yeah, it doesn't stop everybody. It doesn't stop, like, Zeri or the Rakan, but it can certainly help.
Yeah, I think what we're seeing is that Gory actually has to be the one to rush in, because if Burry goes in, he just gets instantly subjugated, and he's gone. Like, he doesn't have the resistances anymore. The Aftershock actually works against him in that case. Actually gives him negative resistance after subjugate, so
That feels bad, man.
Yeah, it definitely is one of those mechanics that just goes against you when up against a Trundle. So I think mainly it has to do with Gory coming in, layered engaged by Kaiwing afterwards, and then you have Bury kind of following up the trap with everyone. So I think it's still going to stay on for a while here, but we're seeing what the big difference here is DCG want to group up, force things mid, while PSG mainly prefer to just spend their time on the side lanes.
Yeah, well, they're the 1-3-1 comp late, right? I mean, the later this game goes, the more that can start to favor them, especially to recover from losing out on some of those kills. The Zeri will get online as well and become a massive damage, as we've seen the last couple of games. But there's the accelerated pace they got to work with. Speaking of accelerated, PSG, they're going to be the ones opening up, and they threw the bailout. Find Criscata. The shutdown is huge. Big gold for Unified. Even through his own cleanse, he has to burn. Woody going to fall down as well as Gory finishes the job. Hanabi zoning Hana and Nesty as Leaky tries to tank through, even with the charm help. He has a lot of health bars to cut through, managing to find 2 with the help of Nesty, but Unified looks to clean up all the same. The charm does land. That might buy Nesty enough time to get out of harm's way, but looking for the cutoff here as he sends the laser straight into the back of the head. Nesty buys time. That's not going to matter at the end. He tries to get the outplay, and it ends up being the 2 for 4 PSG. Now back on.
And nobody was looking at the Bury. As Gory comes in from the top side, you have Bury instantly flashing in onto Criscata, just catching him off guard right there. What a beautiful engage coming in, and also the Kaiwing follow-up. Just caught DCG completely off guard. Oh, from 3 different angles as well. You have the TP on the right side coming in from
Credit to Leaky here, though. He's almost dead. With a little help from Nesty, he's like, wait a minute, those health bars are low. He slices in and out, and they helps them get a kill apiece, but they still die at the end of the day. Unified's online.
Yeah, at the end, they only get 1 kill, 2 kills for 4 here, so massive trade opportunity win here for PSG. The big thing is, once again, you have a fed Zeri on the map, 3-1 and 2. Look at the damage number there.
Big fat 0 for the Sivir. Yeah. Oh, Criscata. Should have taken cleanse.
Yeah, I almost prefer the cleanse, even when you still have the spell shield in most cases here. PSG now decidedly in the lead. They're going to choke out this Drake. No answer here from DCG. Ooh, things are looking pretty rough on DCG's side here. I feel like they just missed their opportunity to kind of chase people down. They had such a massive lead on Criscata, but they didn't find any decisive fights in the meantime.
No, that was the issue, right?
Yeah.
They had good leads. They had the tempo, the advantage. They were able to get some great dragons, and yeah, it feels like it started to unfurl a little bit here. The gold leads for PSG, they've just been a lot more decisive in choosing the engagements and the counter engagements. But there's still a chance for this DCG side to come back. That's still a big Renekton, a big Sivir. Nesty can always find those big charm options. I need Woody to hit a huge hostile takeover. If they can do that, turn the Zeri against PSG, that can flip a fight. Just keep your eye on the cleanse timer.
That's true. It's going to have to travel quite a while because the way Zeri plays these team fights, she's usually very far in the back.
It's a good anti-Renata tech, you know, just like, just dodge it.
It's certainly possible. I've seen the Unified charge in a couple of times, and once again, here DCG is grouped up. They're going to chase this one.
That cleanse. Now we're going to go for it. Hanabi is under fire, but he's so zooms away. DCG can't catch him. There's nothing they can do, and they've already spent a lot of their engage tools. PSG can recognize now. Ooh, they're going to make moves towards the Baron, look to try and split the focus.
Such a slippery composition, and DCG are lacking a lot of standard engage here. They're almost reliant on Nesty from starting things here. They don't have the strong engage from their jungle or their support position. They went for more about early laning phases. They didn't find it. And now they're just kind of struggling to force PSG into bad positions here. PSG just know what they have to do. You know, if DCG want to group, sure, we'll group with you, but we'll control both sides of the vision, and we won't full-on engage. That's just all PSG needs to do.
Absolutely. So, yeah, not a whole lot at the moment that DCG can really do about what PSG have gotten done on this map. And now that's troubling as the game goes. The 1-3-1 just starts to get more and more of a problem for them.
Look at
We're about to take into that 30-minute... Oh, the death cap third item. Whew. That Silas is gonna hit real hard. Chainsaw some heft to him.
You could just
This is first strike Silas too.
Oh boy, yeah, he's very accelerated at this point. They know that he's there. Get the chase down. And the question really is how DCG going to force PSG into a bad position? Like, how are they going to find that uneven numbers fight on one of these side lanes? I think that what they should do is push mid, but maybe try to go into one of these sides. Maybe try to make Hanabi work for it, you know? Oh, Woody.
Getting a little chunked. Yeah, it's one of those problems when you're playing an Enchantress support. It's susceptible to the burst damage. The Zeri, 3 items now, and a half. Look at the last Whisper. Hanabi on 3 as well. He's come right back into this game
for sure, but it's it's a really difficult. I want to see DCG try to just collapse on one of these side lanes. Maybe I think that could potentially work, or allow PSG to try and push in. I don't think like running in mid, A-ramming it is gonna work because PSG just have way too good of a vision control on both sides of the river at the same time. So they can kite into any one of these bushes and just be out of sight. Like it's going to cost PSG so much more.
Yeah, they've been able to do it multiple times at this point. And Deep Cross just keep playing the same game plan. It seems like they've stalled out of ideas for the time being. They're gonna have to find some new ones here. They do find a catch onto Gory, but he just dashes around the side, gets that stolen subjugate, uses it immediately, staying alive. Does have to pop that stopwatch, and hostile takeover completely dodged. Second wind effort here coming in from PSG, just looking for a target as they are scattering to the winds. They find Woody, but he's able to flash out to safety, immediately turn their attention on Leaky. Now, Deep Cross are the slippery ones here, but that's a lot of key summoners burned, and it's a minute till Dragon, but the Baron is also live, and PSG have no qualms at all about starting this off.
Oh, that was 5 ultimates traded for 3 on the side of DCG, so decided teamfight advantage here, and Kaiwi could be looking for the killing blow. He finds everyone on DCG. They might not be able to run away, and here comes the back.
They're going to get the Baron and look to get the sandwich on as well. They use Hanabi to just keep them in line and start to open fire. Leaky bursts down, the double kill coming through, looking for the chase down the finisher. Gory's coming through, that's the triple kill, coming for the Zeri, looking for more. The Quadra should be set up here. There it goes, and Hana on the run. It was Gory that took an ST out to deny that last one. And Hana may hop the wall, he may live, but there will just be so much pressure on this tower, and he will absolutely not. The ace comes through, and now PSG looks for base.
PSG got the comeback here. I don't think they can finish in this push. Members are still a little too far away from this one, but they're definitely going to be able to take the inhibitor and the 3rd Drake for sure.
Wow, what a swing. Again, they commit to the Baron, and instead of turning off the fight, look at the difference in this game and the last one. DCG spent, what, 3-4 minutes just dancing around the Baron. PSG had absolutely no issue at all at starting this, and then finishing the job when they knew it was low enough. They had the teleport play set up. They were just a couple of steps ahead, and DCG never knew what hit them.
Yeah, this is a beautiful collapse onto the ramp right here. You know, Hanabi goes in, sinks, takes most of the damage, but still has lasagnas to survive this one. And it almost looks dicey for a bit here as Kriskala is able to survive, but in goes Gory with the death cap Spirit Dash. No one's going to be surviving that one. Spirit Rush, excuse me, as he just rips through the back line on DCG. Just beautiful stuff from Gory. And that's what I was talking about the last game as well. That's what I want to see out of DCG. Like, if you're in that big of a lead, you drop any ward in the back line, the enemy comes out past their red buff, you just chase them down. It's as easy as that.
Yeah, there it was. Gold lead explodes. Baron on 4 members. Gory was the only one to die in that engage. And yeah, sure, you get objective gold up top. Okay, that's nice. But you're starting to run out of steam here and run out of chances. This is an elimination game for Deep Cross. They can't afford to drop it. They'll be out of contention for the playoffs, out of contention for the World Championship. Leaky getting chased down. PSG, they see the matchup against Beyond Gaming coming up next. They see it in their eyes, but they're eyes on the prize. This Nexus, that last 50 gold, that's all they need to get there.
Saw Cutify 3-shot Leaky and take him down to half HP. That's how fed he is at this point. Already sitting on 6 items. He just has that LDR to go to the end. See if I think what we need to see is Woody just hold on to his hostile takeover a little bit longer. Like, he hasn't really been having any impactful ones so far in this game.
PSG have also just done a great job at like keeping that at arm's length, right? They always respect the distance. Now the chase down, speaking of distance, Hanami maybe didn't respect all that CC chain. The charm was huge. They'll take him down, but look at the base, what's happening up on the top side. The supers are just crashing in. But let's see if they can get the numbers advantage, get the play. Leaky on the side. Is that wrap around?
The big turnaround. They're going in.
Ah, Gory sees him. He's spotted. Also the hostile takeover in his pocket as well. You have to respect that. Even with the numbers disadvantage, PSG get the objective. Well, just about. A few inches away. And that's a big old crash on there, but Criscata goes down even for the bailout. Now, the turnabout's there without taking down Unify, without taking down Kaiwing. There just doesn't seem to be much of a chance. Leaky goes in for the Hail Mary, but he gets stuffed. Oh, that's the end of it. Nestee's the last one standing, but I don't think he will be for long as he limps back to the safety of the fountain. It doesn't even matter if he gets there because this is going to be it. PSG find the final fight and in 35.5 minutes take down the final Nexus. 4 games in, punch their ticket to the lower bracket finals against Beyond Gaming.
PSG, at the very end of their game, they play like they always do. It's very calm and measured, but they strike when they know they have the percentages in their corner right there. There's no hesitation. They've just been on this path so many times before. And once again, they are going to eliminate part of the J-Team universe. This is the end of summer for the DCG squad right here. They had a valiant effort. I love their bans throughout, but unfortunately, they just weren't able to showcase the usual dominance that they had throughout some of their laning phases, like they had against Frankie Esports, like they had in the regular season. Against PSG, that just didn't fly. I feel like the bot lane definitely was a pretty big gap right there. And again, when we came to the